Friends, good afternoon. I'm so happy to be here with you today, and I'm honored for the opportunity to attend the annual Genesis Award ceremony. This unique tradition, this wonderful demonstration of the essential opportunity for Jews and Christians to stand with Israel is heartwarming. We are blessed to be here. For those of you who don't know me, and thank you again for the kind introduction, my name is Benjamin or Benny Sharoni. I'm the Consul General of Israel to New England. I'm a career diplomat, having represented Israel around the world for 20 years. I arrived in New England in the summer together with my wife and our two daughters, and we are all thrilled to be here. I'm starting my journey here with a deep sense of energy, commitment, dedication, and looking forward to the many opportunities to build more bridges between Israel and New England. Friends, the story of Israel is one of thousands of years of both biblical history and modern existence. It is a story of vibrant culture, nightlife, and tourism, and it is also a story of the birth of Judaism and Christianity. It is a story of cutting-edge technology that earned its name as the startup nation. And it is also a story told through the footsteps of ancient prophets and kings that line the very paths you walk every day through the winding street of Jerusalem and Nazareth. Israel's story continues to attract hundreds of thousands of people every year and to inspire communities around the globe. Now, earlier this month, we marked the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. In Israel, in America, and all over the world, Jewish families sat together to celebrate the New Year. But this year, besides happiness, the Jewish people remains shaken by the horrible attacks on Israel last October 7th, 2023. No one could have predicted the scale of pain, devastation, heartbreak, and grief that we would experience that dark day, and certainly not that we would still be reeling from one year later. Hamas' horrific attack on Israel on October 7th and the events of the past year exposed a grim truth. The real objective of Israel's enemies is not the promotion of Palestinian rights, but the eradication of Israel and the expansion of their fight against the free world. This hostility is rooted in a deep-seated, centuries-old anti-Semitic sentiment which transcends borders and ideologies. Unfortunately, as we mourn, we are continuously confronted by ongoing attacks on Israel by Iran and its proxies around the Middle East. We are also confronted by horrific displays of anti-Semitism and anti-Zionism. We are forced to fight and push back against attempts to undermine our existence and the connection to our homeland. And we are also reminded that 101 of our brothers and sisters, our mothers, fathers, cousins, and friends are still held hostages in Gaza and must refuse to rest until every single hostage being brutally held in Gaza is returned home. Sadly, for the last year, the land and the people of Israel have been visited by extreme pain and suffering. Like so many of you in this room, I remember exactly where I was on the dark morning of October 7, 2023. I had spent the previous night celebrating the joyous Jewish holiday of Simchat Torah, which celebrates the completion of the reading of the Torah. The next morning, I woke up in my home in Givatayim to the sound of sirens, a sound that every Israeli knows well. Quickly, my wife and I got out of our beds, helped our daughters get dressed, and ran down 3.5 flights of stairs to shelter. My wife and I spent the day glued to our television screens, learning piece by piece about what had happened on that day. We watched the tolls of dead, wounded, and missing people all over our country rise. I recall that the last time I have been so attentively attached to my television screen has been just 22 years earlier, as the world watched in horror the unfolding of the September 11th attacks on the United States. I was in absolute shock and horror to learn that Israel has been viciously, barbarically attacked by Hamas, a terrorist organization whose stated goal is the destruction of Israel and the death of Jews worldwide. Over the coming days, we would learn that over 900 civilians and 300 soldiers were murdered, and that some 250 hostages were taken, again, 101 of whom are still being held in horrific conditions in underground tunnels. The attacks did not end on October 7th. Civilians all over Israel, from Jerusalem to Nazareth and from Ashkelon to Tel Aviv, continue to attempt to go about their daily lives and maintain some sense of normalcy, while under constant threat of attack by rockets, missiles, and drones from Iranian terror proxies. Ever since that bleak day last October, Israel has been engaged in an ongoing attempt to protect its people and to eliminate the threats of terror against the Holy Land. Yet, the danger posed by this jihadist alliance is not limited to Israel alone. The same forces that targets Israel seek to impose their radical ideology far beyond the Middle East, threatening the very values upon which the free world stands: democracy, human rights, and the rule of law. By framing their campaign in terms of resistance, jihadist groups disguise their true agenda: the expansion of their totalitarian, theocratic control. Their hatred of Israel is a part of a broader rejection of the values of the free world, making Israel's struggle a crucial front line in the defense of global freedom. Israel, in fighting for its survival against this violent jihad, is also defending the values shared by free societies worldwide. It stands as a bulwark against forces that aim not only to wipe out the Jewish state, but to undermine the freedom of democracies and moderate states. Israel's resilience is a defense of the free world itself, as its enemies whether those enemies are Hamas, Hezbollah, or Iran, represent the same forces that threaten freedom and stability everywhere. For those who are trying to undermine Israel's existence, strength, and its unique place among the nations, I have a very clear message. The reign of terror that the Iranian regime has imposed on its own people and on the people of Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen, this one will come to an end. Israel will continue to stand strong, resilient and undeterred in our struggle to be a free nation in our land, the land of Zion and Jerusalem. All those who seek a future of prosperity and peace in the Middle East should unite to build a better future. It is together that we can push back the forces of darkness. Together, we can create a future of light and hope for all of us. Dear friends, we must continue to work together to bring light onto the nations, to restore the world with goodness and truth. As I speak with you today, I'm not just an Israeli diplomat, but also an emissary coming from a land that is loaded with agony and bereavement as we continue to reel from the worst terror attack our nation has seen, while continuing to pay heavy prices in protecting our right to live our lives in Israel. And I also come from a place that has shown us through its long sacred history that it is filled with hope and resilience. There is hope. There is hope because the people of Israel have always overcome adversity. Together, we will continue to embrace one another, to encourage one another, to empower one another. We will continue to simultaneously mend our broken hearts and plant seeds for a future where all can live and thrive in peace. I ask you today to continue standing with Israel at all times. I ask you to pray for Israel. Amen. Support Israel means to support those who strive for life and peace. Please keep Israel in your prayers and in your hearts. We are here today united. United also in the opportunity to celebrate the continuation of Christians and Jews united for Israel's tradition of honoring the people who demonstrate courageous leadership on behalf of Israel. We need to continue having conversation with our friends, family, and neighbors. We need to continue educating people about the history of Israel and the Jewish people and show them that Israel represents the democratic values that many take for granted. There is hope when we're reminded of the unbreakable bond between peace-loving Jews, Christians, and people of faith all over the world. And there is hope because those of us who are here tonight know that we all have a shared destiny. Today, more than ever, it is our obligation to follow the footsteps of Abraham, our biblical father. Reading the book of Genesis, the account of the creation of the world, creation of humanity, it is up to us, each and every one of us, to do our utmost to keep and preserve our humanity in a time where our shared Abrahamic values and coexistence, our brotherhood, comes under attack. I want to thank you, and I'm feeling blessed to be here today. Seeing this courageous support by so many is such a strong reminder to the mutual desire of the strong and the brave, Jews and Christians, to stand together in support of life. Thank you all very much.